For many young people in India, the current reality is defined by a lack of options. Between a stagnant job market and rising inflation, the recent NEET exam paper leak was the final straw for millions of students who saw their efforts rendered meaningless by systemic fraud. In the middle of this high-tension environment, a hearing took place in the Supreme Court on May 15, 2026, that would provide a singular point of focus for all that frustration. Chief Justice Suryakant, presiding over the court, delivered a statement that shocked those listening. He referred to unemployed youth and online critics as, quote, youngsters like cockroaches and parasites who attack the system because they have no place in a profession. Hearing these words from the highest chair in the judiciary turned a vague sense of systemic abandonment into a concrete public insult. For the millions already feeling sidelined, the Chief Justice had just given their frustration a name. Abhijit Dibke, a 30-year-old student at Boston University, responded by leaning into the insult. He launched the Cockroach Janta Party, or CJP, as a joke on social media. The membership form asked 3 specific questions. Are you lazy? Do you spend hours online? Identify as a cockroach. Usually an internet trend like this peaks and disappears within 48 hours, but the CJP followed a very different trajectory. This chart tracks the growth of the CJP account against the official following of the ruling party. It didn't just grow, it exploded, surging past the official count of the BJP to reach over 22 million followers on Instagram. The joke had quantified something serious. Those 22 million followers represented a massive political vacuum, a demographic of young people who felt so ignored by the traditional system that they were ready to rally behind a satirical bug. The CJP soon moved past simple memes. The organizers used their massive reach to release a 5-point manifesto that traded humor for direct critiques of corruption and institutional decay. The demands were specific. They called for the cancellation of media monopolies, an end to the practice of politicians switching parties for profit, and strict accountability for election fraud. Their first major political action was a viral petition demanding the immediate resignation of the education minister, Dharmendra Pradhan, over the NEET leaks. The video announcing it received 10 million views in a single hour. 5 days later, the government's response arrived. Following an input from the Intelligence Bureau, the CJP's Twitter account was blocked in India, with officials citing national security as the reason for the ban. Authoritarian structures are often built to withstand traditional political rivals, but they are uniquely vulnerable to being mocked with the truth. When a joke gains this much traction, the state loses its ability to control the narrative. The digital crackdown escalated beyond official bans. Coordinated attempts were made to hack the party's Instagram page, and their website was abruptly forced offline. Then the pressure became personal. Abhijit's WhatsApp number was leaked, leading to direct death threats against him and his family members living in Maharashtra. A smear campaign followed, with IT cell accounts pushing conspiracy theories that framed Abhijit as a paid Pakistani asset. They claimed the entire movement was a foreign operation, designed to weaken the country's internal security. Even union ministers shared claims that 49% of the party's followers were Pakistani bots. However, internal analytics told a different story. Over 94% of the followers were actually from India. When a movement cannot be easily silenced by law, the entire machinery of the state can be used to target the individual behind it, aiming to destroy their credibility and their safety. This sequence of events, the ban, the smear campaign, and the threats, follows the same pattern used against actual journalists and opposition leaders across the country. The toolkit is consistent. Anyone who voices a dissenting opinion is met with a coordinated effort to label them as a Pakistani agent or a foreign conspirator, effectively delegitimizing their concerns in the public eye. We see this reflected in the treatment of Sonam Wangchuk. When he protested to protect the environment and rights of the people in Ladakh, he was immediately branded as a foreign agent and detained. The CJP incident serves as a case study. It illustrates a system where even a satirical account is met with the same machinery used to silence more traditional forms of dissent. It is a strange paradox of power. A government that has secured massive election victories is dedicating its high-level intelligence resources to fighting an internet meme about cockroaches. This reaction points to a specific sensitivity regarding the unpredictable scale and speed of youth-led digital movements. When millions of people coordinate instantly online, it creates a challenge the state cannot easily manage. The mathematical reality is difficult to censor. If those 20 million followers decentralize the movement by independently reposting demands and acting as their own nodes of communication, centralized bans would become ineffective. The intensity of a crackdown is rarely a sign of absolute strength. Instead, it serves as a measure of how much a system fears the moment its people decide to stop listening.